But yeah, go ahead and reiterate what was said.
December 1st, Quebec City, on the undercard of Adonis Stevenson, you're going to be facing Shakeel Phinn.
Is that the rumor?
Word on the street is that this fight is going to either be for a regional title or a international title.
Done. Intercontinental IBF.
Dario's pissed off. He wants you to pick a side.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck no.
I knew that was going to happen. Dario says, fuck you, man. You got to pick a side.
Yeah, no, Dario can suck a dick on that because that's not going to happen, number one. Because if you force my hand, you're not going to like it. I'll put it to you like that.
I think Jelena is probably the greatest female boxer of all time.
Most underrated.
Guaranteed. That's a true statement. He's the GOAT of female boxing. He's the GOAT of female boxing. But Heather Hardy versus Jelena Mrdjenovic is a fantastic matchup, and I'd pay money to go see it.
That's a main event.
Oh yeah, on a big time show.
That's a main event. TV, everything. That's a main event, hands down.
Dario says, fuck you, man. You got to pick a side.
Yeah, no, Dario can suck a dick on that. Dario can suck a dick. Dario can suck a dick. Dario can suck a dick. Dario can suck a dick on that. Dick.
Okay, Dario. So.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today the podcast is brought to you by Onnit. If you're not on it, get on it at onnit.com. Go check out what they got to offer. They just sent me some new mood because they think I'm in a fucking bad mood all the time because people call me the bad guy. Usually I am pissed off. But go try some new mood. You take it before bed, you wake up and you feel like $1,000,000. And before you go to the gym, take some Shroom Tech Sports, cordyceps mushrooms. I've told you guys the story behind the cordyceps mushrooms and Frodo Baggins going to Mount Doom and fighting the fucking dragon. That's how they discovered it. But go check it out. www.onnit.com. On checkout, use promo code TFS Podcast and you will save 10%. If you guys are on YouTube right now, you can see who my guest is already. Last time I called him a BOGO journalist like he was giving away a buy one, get one free sale or some shit on fucking line. But he's the best gonzo journalist in the sport of boxing right now. My good friend, Manny Montreal.
How's it going, brother?
I'm great, man. Oh, I'm not that great, Manny. I had to get a full-time regular job.
Yeah, I'm there too. I sent in my application to work at the weed store down here.
Oh, I like that.
Well, fuck. If I'm gonna do something, right, I may as well do something I don't mind being around.
Yeah, I like. You'd have fun there, though. I think.
I don't know. I'm not good in the corporate structure. Because the minute somebody tries to, like, if I know I'm right on something, then we got problems.
So here's the problem I'm running into right now, Manny, is I've been able to do my own damn thing for so long, and now I have somebody telling me what to do, and I don't like that very much.
No, it's not a fun situation, especially if the person telling you what to do is not smarter than you.
Exactly. It drives me crazy.
It's listen, man. It's gonna be, I don't know what, we're 2018, gonna be 2019. It's gonna be 5 years since I've worked for someone else. I've been doing this Manny Montreal thing.
Yeah.
Not been easy. But when I did have a job, I distinctly remember getting hired and thinking to myself, I have more degrees than the people that are hiring me.
Right.
And, you know, they were saying stuff to me and it just seemed so obvious. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's not, I don't want to try and make it sound like I'm better than other people or whatnot. I could not work at an engineer. There's certain jobs I cannot do. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the, you know, but for that particular job, I just, if I'm gonna do something, I don't want it to be soulless.
Yeah.
I want to learn. I want to progress. I want to do better. You know, I want there to be some sort of something greater coming out of it. You know what I mean? As weird as it sounds.
So Monday, I started my full-time job. I run shipping and receiving for a big electrical company.
Okay.
And I was so depressed on Monday night that when I came home, I thought I was gonna cry. I was like, "Oh my god! I just spent 8 hours doing something. Like the time went by so slow." But then I look at my wife and my kid, and I got to be able to put food on the table for them, right? And it's like, fuck, I'm gonna have to waste 8 hours a day until I get this ball rolling again.
My situation's a little different now, but when I went and got a job, look, I worked there for 4 years. So from 2010 to 2014, I was working at this place. And before that, I had made money on my own and did not need to go work for someone else. So at that point, I was paying a lot of court fees and lawyers and sending money into people's canteens and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a lot on my shoulders being the only person that was responsible and outdoors, so to speak. And I went and got a job. I really did not like it, but to a certain degree, it was almost as if I was doing time as well.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was in job jail.
Yeah, I kind of took it that way, and it helped me get through it, as weird as it sounds, because, I had friends going through way worse, right? And despite it all, despite the shitty boss, despite it all, I would still, at the end of the day, be in my car, listening to my radio, doing my thing,
Yeah.
going home to my dog. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, take it with a grain of salt for now, dude. You're doing time. We both known people that, have had hard times like that. And in reality, on the scope of things, it ain't that big of a deal.
No, at the end of the day, it ain't that bad. I get a paycheck. I got benefits. I have a retirement package, all that kind of nonsense. But realistically, I'd give all that up to be able to talk shit and make a ton of money on the internet. But
I'm with you. I get it. I understand what you're trying to say, but I mean, there's no need for you to drop one
No.
for the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For now. You know what I mean? That's the way you got to look at it. For now, you don't have to put all your eggs in this whatever company's basket, so to speak.
Yeah.
Gain experience. Worst case scenario, the way I used to work is like, if this place shuts down in 6 months, I want to be able to pull something from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at a minimum, get what you can from it. You know what I mean? Who knows? You might. It's really funny how life works. You might meet somebody who's like internet wizard.
Yeah.
Who just happens to be working a job like you know what I mean? Or whatever. So you'll meet some sort of weird connection because of it, and it'll help you.
Oh, guaranteed. Now, a couple weeks ago, let's get off this shitty subject because I don't like it. Drives me nuts. It's Saturday. I don't want to talk about work anymore. A couple weeks ago, we talked on the telephone. I don't know if we can be very blunt on this show yet, but you have something wrapping up here fairly quickly. And then we talked about putting together maybe like a league of extraordinary gentlemen, so to speak.
Yeah. Look, I'm at episode 205 on the Fight City of Manny's Thoughts. When I get to 208, that will be exactly 4 years of doing a weekly show for the Fight City. It's just, it's gotten a little stale for me.
Yep.
And I don't want to stop what I'm doing because I do plenty of other stuff. I take pictures, I do video. It's not like I'm not doing stuff. But part of me, like we were talking just about a couple seconds ago, it's like I gotta go get a real job and whatnot. And if something's taking this much time and effort from me, but it's not giving me results, then it's up to me to try and call that back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I won't participate in things. I know for a fact I can get passes on my own now.
Mm-hmm.
I've proven it. There's gonna be some massive news that I can't talk about just yet, but somebody from here is more than likely going to be fighting on the last HBO show in New York, Madison Square Garden, December 15th.
Ooh.
Yeah. And should that fight happen and everything gets signed, it's a big deal. I'd like to pull that off. I know for a fact I can get press passes for it. I already have applications for that show. It just, I haven't put in for it because, well, to be honest, there's a lot of American dudes, and I don't know how I would be able to fund that. However, if there's somebody from here going, it might be a little easier.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm still, even with the Fight City and everything, I still got to find a way to fund it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my thought is I'm gonna do my 208. I'm gonna shut it down after that. The Fight City will still be welcome to have anything. You know, it's not like we're leaving on bad terms. They're welcome to use anything I have. You know, I know they'll give me credit. It's not, a question of that. But I won't have this thing hang over my head that every week I gotta hand something into them. And then that way, when I do something, it'll be because I want to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Sometimes if fuck, man, 208 episodes in a row, and in reality, I did it for a full year before the Fight City picked me up.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I've put down over 300 plus videos weekly. So I don't know. I want to take a little break. I want to do something a little different. And like I said, we did talk about creating some sort of league. But there's something to be said about our country, man. There's something to be said about the scene itself, and it takes a couple nutcases to make it happen.
Does.
So I'm putting the notice out here now. Hit me up or hit Tanner up if you're a nutcase like one of us, and you want to claim a territory in Canada. Now's the time to do it. As far as press passes go, me and Tanner can pretty much cover anything in North America, even some shows abroad. But obviously, I'd like to concentrate on covering Canada properly. There's some really big stuff going on with Punch and Grace. I'm guessing the new year they're gonna announce some massive deals, and it's gonna be some good stuff. So, by the way, if anyone gets a chance, go to punchandgrace.com. Subscribe now, because I got a feeling you're gonna, after the new year. Right now, if you subscribe, you have to subscribe for 3 months. Okay, so that works out to $33. Okay?
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. So you sign up, you pay the $33. That'll bring you into 2019, like I'm saying, where these new changes will take into effect. And everybody who had not signed up for Punch and Grace prior to this will be more than likely paying a different price, in my opinion. I'm not stating any facts, but there are certain things in the works. There are certain shows. There are certain people that might be joining the team that I foresee them having an extreme push as far as content goes. Mm-hmm. So it might be good news for Canada overall. And like I said, if we're there to cover it, all the better.
Well, great news for Canada. As I know, I told everybody that I have a certain somebody on the show today, but we got to take a little bit of a back seat and wait just a little bit longer. But great news for Canada is Adam the Boogeyman Braidwood is back. He has a message for everybody. He's alive. He's well. He's back to training. He's just getting his feet back underneath him. So we do ask that anybody, if you're not in the circle, just wait. But if you're going to take some shit off of Twitter and then turn it into a story for TVA Sports, probably maybe not the greatest idea on the planet to do. But, Manny, you're in the circle, so you're good.
Well, here's the thing. I don't understand people. If you're aware now, right? Like I'm assuming a lot of people are, that he's out, and it seems that things weren't the way they were sounding like originally, and that there seems to be another side to the story, and that clearly if he's out, there's some sort of beneficial good thing on his side of the story for that to have happened. I don't know. Maybe wait to speak to him. You know what I mean? So far, I've read 2 stories on it, right? And I would say both stories were approximately 25% accurate. Correct. Considering the fact that, at least 20% was just stuff that they were repeating that everybody knew, right? So, I mean, the 75% they made up, just, there's stuff in there. They don't get the nuances, and I would prefer that media would wait and do their stuff properly. I mean, research a little bit. If you want to be the breaking story, if you want to be the one, there's ways to research it. You could have went out there and figured out the truth. But, you did the lazy way. You put together some tweets, and you put together some dots that don't, connect. And now we're here laughing at you. And in, I'm assuming, 2 weeks or so, when legal issues are out of the way, we'll get the whole scoop, the whole skinny from the man himself.
We're gonna hear it all. It's just a matter of time. I don't mind the waiting game actually because like you sent me that story yesterday. First thing I translated it with Google Translate. It's not the greatest translation of all time, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Listen, then I went and read. I read the tweets. You can't. You fabricated a story from what the other guy said. It's great. That's cool. Keep his name. Keep saying his name because it keeps him relevant. But when the real story comes out, you're gonna feel like an idiot.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? This is the sad part about this game because all they're gonna do is apologize to him
Yeah.
because they got the platform. So even if Adam wanted to be angry at them, I would tell him, like just take the apology and talk to him because they got the platform. As much as it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck,
So,
but
so somewhere along the lines, they don't always have to be accurate. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it is what it is. And for those of us that care, that want to know the real story, I mean, the real fans are waiting for Adam anyway. They don't
Yes.
want to hear it from someone else. And on top of that, everyone that knows Adam knows they're going to get the real story from him. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to dance around. He's going to tell you the fucking truth. He's got no shame when it comes to shit that he's done or fucked up on. And considering that, in my opinion, he didn't fuck up in this time, I foresee him being able to express himself properly.
he doesn't have a problem with that ever. So
Yeah, exactly.
I got a phone call today from Dario Bredicean.
Yeah, bud.
I let him know that you were coming on the podcast, and well, he needs you to do something for him. But Dario Bredicean will be fighting Shakeel Phinn December 1st. Where is this fight going to take place, Manny?
Quebec City at the Viditron Center on the undercard of Adonis versus Vudsik.
So you've been invested in both of these gentlemen as they've been coming up through the ranks, and I know it's a tough thing, and you don't like to see your guys compete against each other. I love the fight. I think it's great. They're both fantastic.
If I take my friendship hat off and I just put my logic hat on, it's a fucking tremendous fight.
Yeah.
It's a great fight for the fans, right? My feelings are involved, like it or not, because I like both guys, right? I really, really like both guys for different reasons, and I like both their styles. And in my dream world, because we have a couple prospects at 168 pounds here in Montreal. On the other flip side of things, there's also an Eric Bazinian, right? So, I was kind of looking forward to maybe this weight class being like the light heavyweight division in the future, where we just have like 5-6 killers in there and a couple champs, and then we maybe have a shot at claiming all the belts on one dude,
Yeah.
Dario's got that slick, I'll point you, not get touched kind of shit. Bazinian's got that Euro kind of feel. Shaquille's got the aggressive forward momentum and I would say more of an American inside style. So like each guy's got their thing, each guy's got their reasons, each guy's got their story, not every guy's different. All three of them are entirely different. They're all relatively close in age. They could be friends in a different kind of universe with like really hang out with each other almost every day kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was kind of hoping that maybe we could get a couple belts on them, and then eventually I would have to accept a face-off, But they're making it happen a little earlier, seeing as how Dario is kind of connected to Groupe Yvon Michel, and Shakeel Phinn is a Groupe Yvon Michel fighter. I mean, I guess Yvon can only really take one of them to the big dance, so to speak. A win for Dario here, I don't see how he doesn't sign a deal with Groupe Yvon Michel after that.
Yeah.
Like I personally thought him and his brother should have been picked up a couple years ago, especially when Rixa was still around. They should have sunk their teeth in them just to have a little control over them being on Rixa cards and stuff. It's a whole nother issue, but either way, I would have liked a bigger player involved, right? And that's not to say they don't have a good team, because they got a fantastic team. between Butte and their manager Chris, they got world class, on a Montreal budget.
Yeah.
So that being said, I mean, it's a fucking really good matchup. Styles make fights. I just, I know. See, I know a loss either way, even though the loss would be different for either guy. I know a loss either way is going to be a significant loss.
Yeah. It's a big
You
one.
understand?
It's a big one.
As an example, Shaq's got 2 losses, but one of them's a 4-rounder he did, I think, in his second or third fight. It was just a question of him not coming on strong enough. And then his second loss was, to be honest, because I feel like there was a bit of pressure on him. And they were making a big deal out of the fight and whatnot. And he just legitimately did not show up. He went the distance with the guy, but it was like he was stuck in third gear the whole fight.
Yeah.
He just could not get it into fourth and fifth where he does, his best work. That being said, Shaq's been in those situations, but those losses were still kind of growing pain losses, if you will. Loss to Dario would be a bit of a step back.
Yeah, 100% it would be. Now, I've heard word on the street is that this fight is going to either be for a regional title or a international title.
Done. Intercontinental IBF.
Yes.
Very good stuff.
I like that.
Listen, Dario's not ranked in the Canadian rankings because he's from Florida, right?
Yeah.
But if you go look in the rankings, technically speaking, in the world rankings, Shakeel's a little higher than him.
Yeah.
Both guys, I believe, are ranked in the 20th area. I think Shaq's 22 and Dario might be like 26 or something, right? Something along those lines. But I know I'm not right with the numbers, but it's the gap's about that. And the winner of this fight would be firmly shoved into 15. You know what I mean? So top 15 status. You could start looking at a fight that'll bring in, 20K plus. Your career starts going into serious gear now.
Yeah.
So maybe a little TV money, stuff like that can start coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an important fight. And here's the thing, the IBFs, there's different belts obviously, and different classes and the way people regard them even. As far as how they do their rankings and how they test their fighters and how quick they force fighters to fight and defend those titles, the IBF is definitely up there. I would say maybe the top 2 title out there as far as not being lenient or creating like several titles in the same weight division or anything like that. There's I'll give you an example. For the IBF, there's a 10-pound rehydration clause.
I like that.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's the IBF's considered a little stricter, and because of that, it causes its champions to be considered a little more prestigious, if you will.
Yeah. What Dario wanted me to get you to do, Dario's pissed off. He wants you to pick a side.
Oh, fuck no.
I knew that was going to happen. Dario says, fuck you, man. You got to pick a side.
Yeah, no, Dario can suck a dick on that because that's not going to happen, number one, because if you force my hand, you're not going to like it. I'll put it to you like that. Number 2, I spend my time at Donnybrook.
I know, yeah.
I spend time with Shakeel. We talk on a daily. I love Dario, right? I was at Shakeel's first fight.
Yeah.
I know Shakeel's dad. I knew Shakeel's dad before I knew Shakeel.
Oh, shit.
We got history. He's got history with people I had history with. Me and Shaq were destined to be friends. So,
I feel like this is going to hurt you more on a personal basis if Shakeel Phinn does not win.
No.
No? You won't be upset?
Let me put it to you like this. I'm more worried about somebody getting hurt.
Okay. You're worried more on a personal friendship level.
Yeah, listen, I want whoever loses this fight to be able to walk away from it.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't want to be... Fuck, man. I see, this is why I didn't want to fucking talk about this shit. Okay. Shaq's put 3 dudes in the hospital.
Yep.
You know what I mean? One dude's starting to walk now. Okay? Like, Shaq's in contact with his family because of guilt.
Yeah.
Okay? So, there's 3 dudes like that. Shaq's already got a few bodies on him, so to speak.
Yeah. This is good stuff to talk about, though, because most of the people that are going to tune in to watch this fight, Manny, don't know fuck all about either one of these guys.
That's a fucking shame. And whoever's listening to this and doesn't know their name should, hang their head in shame until they do some proper research.
Correct.
Because both guys are it's a quality fight. It sucks that it's happening now because, like I said, both guys could probably go all the way to being a champion and face each other. It would be plausible. If I had the fucking money, if I won the 649 or the Lotto Max that happened yesterday, $60 million, trust me, this fight wouldn't be happening.
Well,
right now.
Like, when you break this fight down and you look at it, it's real fucking interesting because styles do make fights, and these guys fight totally different. Dario's a really, really slick southpaw, where Shakeel Phinn, if he hits you, it sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing, okay? I'll take my friendship hat off again. Chris Ganescu, who is Dario Bredicean's manager.
Yeah.
Tough dude. Bulldog. Great guy to have in your corner. Great guy to negotiate your contract. Great connections. Seriously, like, if somebody came to me and they were like, I have all this money to spend, who can I get? I'd be like, go talk to Chris. You understand? He legit knows his fucking shit. He's also known for testing his dudes. Okay?
Okay.
If you're part of his team, he doesn't give a fuck. He thinks you can beat everybody. Okay?
I like
That's exactly. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? You're part of the team, you're supposed to have fucking blind faith. I like that. Thing is, between Butte, Garville, Jojo Dan, these are, 3 fighters. If you notice, they're fighters that have never stepped away from a challenge.
Yep.
Right? And that if maybe a different manager would have protected them a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not trying to say Chris is putting these guys in danger. I'm not trying. Fucking great manager. Point. But he ain't afraid to test his dudes because he's got blind faith in his dudes, there's nothing wrong with it. But, Jojo Dan's been in some tough fights that maybe he shouldn't have been in. You know what I mean? Same goes for Garville. Same goes for fucking Butte. And I got nothing but love for Butte. Quite possibly the word gentleman, like, it's a picture of Butte in the dictionary. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's a legit super nice dude. Like, walk your grandma across the street nice, But
then he'll wreck your life when you get in the ring.
Yeah, little inside body hook there, but anyway, Chris has blind faith in Dario. That's what it comes down to, and he doesn't see the same dangers in Shakeel that maybe you or I could see.
Oh, it's a dangerous fight. Like, I heard it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I like it though.
I do and I don't, man. You know what I mean? That's what it boils down to. I do and I don't, because I know what's gonna happen here. Somebody's losing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you straight goods, right? I plan on being in both dudes' locker rooms after the fight. Okay?
Yeah, that's normal.
Well, you're not supposed to be, right? I'm not supposed to be in there, but the point is, I plan on doing it regardless, right? It's not like security can fucking stop me. But
no,
I plan on being in both guys' locker rooms afterwards, no matter what. You get what I'm trying to say?
So,
and I want to keep it like that.
When we talk that Manny is going to be at this fight in both locker rooms, that means that Manny is going to pick this fight over watching Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder on TV.
Well, I mean, I can watch it again, and it's fucking Deontay Wilder. I mean, come on. What am I going to miss? Okay, if that fight goes down Wilder's way, he landed a crazy knockout from a punch that most men would not be able to throw from on the balls of his fucking feet while he was doing a pirouette. Or Tyson Fury decisions him 12 rounds, makes him look like a fucking putz.
That's what's gonna happen.
The outcome. Yeah, exactly. That's the outcome of the fight. Deontay Wilder struck a match and hit dynamite. Tyson Fury wins decision. It's one or the other. I'm more worried about this thing.
I'm not watching the Tyson Fury fight. I'll fucking download it the next day or some shit. I'm more interested in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. This is... Well, I mean, like I said, man, I got a personal stake in it. But even if I didn't, it's a fucking really good fight. It's a really good fight.
Shaq speaks English very good, right? Like he's fluent.
Perfectly.
Perfect in English.
Perfect.
I'm gonna try to get him to come
English,
on the show.
Perfect in French. He's Jamaican. I'll get him on the show any time, bud. Anytime.
I'd love to get him on. He seems like a fantastic person.
You know what? Here's the thing, man. Like, he's a better dude than I am. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes down to it, if I might get into heaven because of him type thing. You know what I mean? Like, it won't be because of my record.
That's one of those guilty by association where it's a good thing.
Yeah. Like, he's a legit good kid. You know what I mean? And, like, I won't go into specifics, but, he could very easily have been different.
Yeah.
Right? Very easily. And he's so not, you know what I mean? And the person that put me on to him, a friend of a friend, was like, oh, you should come check out so-and-so's son. I was like, oh, yeah, his son boxes? He's like, yeah. And that's how that happened, right? And, like, I remember seeing them the first time. I've had different reactions to boxers the first time I see them. Some guys I fell in love with the minute I watched them.
Yeah.
Right? Shaq, it wasn't so much him boxing, right? It was like the conversation I had with him. I was like, holy fuck, this kid's a legit good kid. He might be too good for boxing. Like, he might be too much of a nice kid for boxing. Now, this was years ago. He's grown, he's matured, he's dealt with managers and contracts, and he's 20 plus fights in now. So it's a little different, you know what I mean? But I remember thinking, like, fuck, he might be too nice for boxing. And then he had his first fight, and yeah, it all worked out. It all worked out. He's when he can channel, I call it the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Right? Because the Jamaican Juggernaut's his nickname, but like I've brought this up to him more than once. The fight that I mentioned that he lost, that he didn't like get into gear, it's like he didn't switch over into Juggernaut mode.
Yeah.
Like, once he gets into Juggernaut mode, I don't care who you are. I really don't care who you are. And here's the truth, okay? Before Dario was sparring Butte, and before Dario came to Grant Brothers, Shaq was a regular at Grant Brothers. And Shaq was Butte's regular sparring partner. I got images and video like you wouldn't believe, because those first 2 years I spent at Grant Brothers, Shaq was originally training out of there. He didn't have his own gym yet. And, he was working out of there with his coach, Ian. I believe even his second fight was on a Grant Brothers card somewhere. But the point being, you want to talk about crafty southpaws. Shaq's seen some work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He works with David Lemieux. He's worked with Beterbiev. He works with Butler on a regular basis. He works with that Mibli kid on a regular basis. As far as him seeing a crafty southpaw, I'm not too worried about. I'm not worried for Shaq.
Okay.
Like, he just needs the Juggernaut needs to show up. We're good. And that's for any fight. It's not just, the one that's coming up.
Yeah. All right, let's get off this one because it pisses you off.
Please. Thank you.
I want to talk about Stephen Butler a little bit because Stephen Butler, he's a good boxer. But he fucking pisses me off.
Why?
He's fucking annoying.
He's gotten better now. He's gotten a little older with his shit. When he was younger, a couple years ago, I could have agreed with you, but
Dario hates him.
Well, to be fair, the Grant Brothers and Eye of the Tiger kind of have a weird thing.
Oh, okay.
So there is kind of a mutual weirdness going on there. But I think Dario just hasn't spent enough time with him. And I don't think they would too, because Butler's English is getting there.
Okay.
It's starting, it's like mainly he can tell you what hip hop song he likes, and he can maybe do some lyrics to something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he's getting there, but I don't think he's gonna have full-fledged conversations. Point being, he's matured, man. He's got a baby now, and they moved him out of the neighborhood he was in before, and
Oh, okay.
it's his life now is gym, kid, wife,
Yeah.
gym, kid, wife, grandma occasionally. You know what I mean? Which is a massive change for him anyway.
Well, I always piss Dario off every day because I'll send Dario Stephen Butler stories. And he don't like Butler very much. We were actually gonna try to send Bruno Bredicean after him.
I don't think that could work, bud.
Well, what's Butler fight at?
He was fighting at 154, right? That's when he lost to Cook, but now he's been fighting at 160, and I think 160 is going to be his home.
What's Bruno? I can't remember what Bruno fights at. It's
A
been
buck-
forever.
$147, bud.
Bruno will be fine.
Butler fucking hits hard, bro.
Maybe we'll send Dario after him. I know that he had aspirations to go to 160.
This is what I was thinking, man, before they announced this fight. That's where I thought we were going, and personally, I think it's better because, not to shit on the other fight and not to try and draw lines to the other conversation we were having before, but I feel like if he just suffered on the cut a little bit, he would show up with a little bit more pop. At
Dario?
160, yeah.
Well, I know that he's been fighting at catchweights for I think the last one was a catchweight of 165, I want to say, for some reason.
Yeah. I know he's been doing that, and that's okay. That's okay to do every now and then.
Yeah.
Like Shaq fought his last one, I think, at 169 or 170, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not for a title, so there is an allowance, right? Before the title, there will be a strict. I believe it's gonna have to be 168.
Yeah.
But and like he doesn't want to be too under either. So anyway,
Yeah.
not the point.
No.
I would have almost preferred Dario at 160, and then a fight with Butler, to me, would have seemed more interesting.
I'd be more interested in because I think Dario kicked Butler's ass, but
Well, because you see, again, styles make fights, right? And Butler went from being solely a counter power puncher to now he's evolved a little bit. He's realized he was lacking things, and he grew up, like I said. So he started making adjustments and asking questions and demanding for more things like can we work on this, and that was all the enthusiasm his coaches needed. They brought in extra people and they did extra things. So now, he's developing a really nice inside game. He's really working off his combinations. If you go look at his last fight against Jordan Balmier, now I realize Jordan's not a good example because he's only 11 fights in.
yeah.
But if you go look at that fight, as far as his footwork is concerned, he was doing, leaps and bounds compared to 2 years ago. So, all that being said, Dario, as far as footwork and combinations and putting punches together and then lining up punches, and then, last but not least, dropping the 1-2, Dario's a fucking master, right?
Yeah.
So a fight between the two of them would have been something along the lines of Butler trying to adapt to Dario.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Which, like I said, would have made a better fight, in my opinion.
Yeah. What's going on with Simon Keane? I know he's in Florida right now doing a vacation kind of thing, but what's going on with him?
Listen, to tell you the truth, there's rumblings out there that, not everything is peachy sunny in his world between him and his management team. It's understandable. They made some statements after his fight saying that he was going to have to change some things in his entourage. Mm-hmm. That being said, I mean, I hate to fucking say it, right? Because I don't want to sound like a hater, because I'm not. I'm legit not. I respect what he's done. I respect him even more after he faced Adam. As weird as this sounds, right?
Yeah.
Because even the way he conducted himself afterwards, he could have been very different, and he didn't.
Well, Simon fought like a champion that night.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm putting any negative remarks on him. But the knockout from Carmen, I saw coming. and not necessarily from Carmen. It's the exact reason why I was giving Adam a shot.
Yeah.
It's the exact reason. You know what I mean? Because he makes some fundamental errors that if you can capitalize on, if you know, Carmen saw it, right? And I'm sure somewhere along the lines, I want to talk about Adam's fight with him, but I'm sure Adam would have seen it. He would have got it too. You get what I'm saying?
There's a lot of things that I see Simon do that I'm just like, oh shit! If you could just hit him right there.
Yeah, exactly.
He holds his right hand very weird. The left hook is open constantly, and the inside game is just it's non-existent.
I'll tell you what. A James Toney, a Tua, even a Joseph Parker would flatten King.
Oh yeah,
Any guy that steps in with a hook.
that's it.
That you know what I mean? And
That's
that's exactly. So, you know, there's certain things he's definitely got to work on. That being said, the loss, despite it all, it's nice because it kind of breathes hope into the chances of Adam getting a rematch. Now, I know some people are calling for it right away. I don't want it right away.
No.
I want 2 more fights. I want 2 more fights, and I want a for real training camp for Adam, if possible, here in Montreal. I mean, I'm just saying, he just needs a month. Give him a month with a couple bodies down here. That's all I want him to do. Bring, I believe it's Mr. Lestage.
Yep.
Bring Mr. Lestage. It's not a question of somebody trying to coach him or whatnot. Legit.
Better bodies.
Better bodies.
Yeah.
Point. You know what I mean? And there no strings attached. It'll happen.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? People will offer themselves. I know this. If
Oh yeah.
you know, if it's done right. But anyway, it's not the point. Adam can still make some progressions and capitalize on mistakes Simon hasn't made. Capitalize on the mistakes Simon's made. Should he not make improvements in the next 2 fights as well? You know what I mean? That being said, that leads you to believe that 2 fights from now, that would be a tremendous fight.
I'll give you a little bit of inside information. We've actually asked Simon Keane for a rematch at some point.
Okay.
He has graciously declined.
Well, like I said, that might come to... See, here's the thing. The rumor, not confirming anything, is that he is either A, at the end of his contract or nearing the end of his contract. And maybe he's having some people talk to him about what his other options are. So yeah. I believe that's why he's not going to say yes to anybody, not necessarily just Adam.
He's not saying shit. That's what I took it as.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, don't throw it out just yet. Just wait till he gets his shit organized type thing.
Yeah.
And, fuck.
Well, we've got a hit list. We got a hit list.
Can I say this, man? I still want to talk to Adam. Like, I can't wait till we do.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that fucking bothers me to this day about that fight is when he walked out. Now, I did my little thing. I got in the pit, and I got to where I lined myself up because I knew they were coming down this way, you know what I mean? And I try and get those shots as they greet the crowd and they walk out, you know what I mean? And then I try and get some over-the-shoulder shit to just show the crowd and the fighter walking through the crowd. I just loved getting that shot for whatever reason.
It's good, though. I like it.
I was expecting, in my mind, I was like, oh, fuck, better get over there. You know, I'm running over, and in my mind, I was expecting Adam to come out, smoke, music, Conan fucking slow motion yell, blood dripping from his fucking fangs, crowd going fucking apeshit, him egging on the crowd, walking through the places,
Yeah.
I was expecting fucking Macho Madness, Ultimate Warrior style fucking, oh fuck, it's going down mode. Instead, I was like, what the fuck just happened to Adam? Like, the way he walked out, the way he walked to the ring and everything, to me, it felt like somebody was holding his dog ransom. You know what I mean? Like, I to this day, I need to know what the fuck, dude.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you and I both know the real story.
Yes. That we can't comment on.
Can't comment on it. But once everybody knows, they're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
fucking killed me, man.
It all
killed
happened. It all
my
happened
heart
right then.
before the fight happened. As he walked out, I knew he was fucked.
Okay, I've been present for 95% of Adam's fights. He's full of energy when he comes out. Like, he's not a crazy person running around like an asshole, but he's always smiling. He does something before he gets in the ring. Didn't happen that night. I'm watching TV and I look at him like, oh shit. This is a problem.
So yeah, you got the same feeling as I did.
Yeah, we all did. We've all talked. We all did. I've talked to Adam on numerous occasions over the last 4 months, and we all know.
Okay.
Sometimes sometimes shit happens in life where you get a hiccup. That shit that happened to him, he knew about. How are you supposed to go into the biggest fight of your life against your best opponent and compete with that sitting on your shoulder?
Ah, this is gonna be a long ass 2 weeks, bud. This is gonna be a long ass 2 weeks.
When you look at the grand scheme of things with stuff like this, like sometimes things are better left unsaid, and then sometimes silence is your best offense. And right now, the way everything is sitting and lining up, silence is the best offense.
Yeah. So good news coming soon. That's all that matters.
Good news will come soon. What is going on with the giant Russian dude over there? I can't remember his name. He's got the weird eyebrows.
Arslanbek Makhmundov.
I like that guy.
Fucking yeah, man. He just actually his wife and child have just arrived to Canada.
Ooh, for good?
You know what? Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what he's working on. So he's brought them down. He's put them a couple fights. He put the money together. You know what I mean? I like the story because it makes you realize what the guy's fighting for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these people are just grateful to be in Canada. Point. You know, she's happy. The fucking sun's shining over here. They got a nice apartment. You know, husband's doing well. Their kid's gonna get a decent education. Nothing but good. Nothing but good.
That guy's one of the weirdest looking guys I've ever seen in my life, but shit, he can fight.
Listen, I asked his coach the first time I saw him. I was like, "Does he have giganticism?" Because there's a little Andre the Giant kind of feel to him.
Yeah.
Where you're like, your growth spurt just hit you in one day, and like everything didn't fall into place properly.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking massive.
He's
and,
huge.
Yeah. And like I said, he's got a huge amateur record. And then the worst part is, the part of Russia he's in, they have like a pro-am league.
We've talked about this before, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all guys that are either not sanctioned to fight more than 6 rounds anymore.
Okay.
Right? So it's not necessarily that they're bums. It's just they're either old or they've, had too many fights. And they're slowing them down, so to speak. Or guys that are just starting out that don't want to turn pro just yet.
Yeah.
And he had 30 or so fights in that semi-pro league and, undefeated. So.
Wow.
Yeah. They're going to be moving him up quick. Right now, his next fight's going to be his first 6-rounder.
Yeah.
Then I believe the fight after that's already slated to be an 8-rounder. And then hopefully sometime 2019 he'll be eligible to fight for a minor title or something along those lines.
What is his professional record at this point?
I believe he's 4-0. 4-0, yeah.
Okay.
4-0, 4 KOs. He just got started. I mean, he's only been here. He's been here less than 8 months.
I watched him fight Christian Larondo on the Eye of the Tiger card, and I've seen Christian fight a bunch of times. I've tried to help him out in the past, but he absolutely murked that kid.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, man. For a while, it's gonna look like that for this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing against, I don't know the dude's name you were saying there, but nothing against his opponents. You know what I mean? It's just, if you had close to fucking 350, swings at the bat before going pro, No, you're kind of on a different level. So
Adam Braidwood fought Christian Larondo at KO Boxing. Adam knocked him out. Stanley Cermak fought Christian Larondo. I have a history with Christian, so I know him fairly well. But the Russian fella got the job done the quickest.
yeah, well, I mean, because he hits like a Mack truck, and then on top of that, because of the pedigree, he's placing his punches well.
Yeah.
So, like, as much as I love Adam, he's not as polished, so there is wasted energy in spots.
Yeah.
There's gonna be swings and misses and shit like that. Whereas with Arslan Beck, it's not everything's landing.
Yeah, he's doing everything perfect.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
So I know that we're recording the Final Shot podcast now on the weekends because I have a stupid job. But this weekend there's probably a lot of fights going on. I know Danny Jacobs is fighting.
Yeah.
I like that. I like Daniel Jacobs.
Listen, solid fighter, a fan favorite, and for good reason.
His story's amazing.
Story's amazing, and the guy puts down solid fights. You don't have to know fuck all about boxing, and you can watch him and know that he's, a really good fighter.
Yep. Who's he fighting?
Oh, fuck, a Russian kid's name. You see, this is the thing. These people's fucking names these days, man. Like, I seriously, I want to implement fucking nicknames. Fuck it all, just more nicknames. It'll be easier. If everyone just called themselves Triple A, Triple B, Triple C, life would be fucking much better.
Way easier.
Hold on here. I'll tell you his name.
I couldn't pronounce it even if you put it in front of my face. Guaranteed.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. Daryevchenko.
Okay. I don't know who that is, but probably be a good fight.
Daryevchenko. He's undefeated. You could go look at a highlight reel of him on YouTube. It's good.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think he's Jacobs good.
Okay.
That's what it boils down to. It's nothing against him. He's very good. And look, based on his performance tonight, right? If he puts on a solid performance, win or lose,
yeah,
it can work out for him, like career-wise.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He can line himself up. He can stay in the top 10 for a while and line up some fights just based off of the performance of this fight.
Okay. So that's a good fight. This is going to be on regular television too, I believe.
HBO.
The last HBO card.
No.
Oh.
Second to last.
Okay.
There's this one. Okay. And then there's... Oh, wait.
Oh, this is for a world title.
Yeah.
IBF.
Well, yeah.
Not mad at that.
No. Listen, it's not a bad thing, and considering what's happening with DAZN, and because Jacobs is technically a matchroom fighter.
Yeah.
So and now DAZN having Canelo, there's a chance once Canelo goes back down in weight, we can maybe get a Jacobs fight. That's the idea behind that. I have no issues with it. I'm actually very okay with it. The undercard's actually very important. The co-main. Hardy versus Vincent.
Oh, that's a good fucking fight.
That's the second. It's a rematch from 2 years ago that originally aired on PBC.
Yeah.
HBO was originally going to put another fight as the co-main.
Okay.
Which is also for a title, but I forget both guys' names because, it doesn't matter because they're unimportant now. But enough people online bitched, including Heather Hardy herself, who called the head of HBO Sports herself to be like, why is my fight not being televised? It's the last HBO show. You're having a female... You guys never air female boxing. It's for a fucking title.
Yeah.
This is the fight you guys should air. And if you need proof, we fought 2 years ago, and it was a barn burner. People were calling it fight of the year.
Yeah.
Here I am going at it with this girl again in my hometown with my hometown fans, and the internet's going on fire. Come on, dude. So, good thing they made it co-main.
I really like this fight because Heather Hardy a little while ago said that she wanted to fight Jelena Mrjenovic for the WBC WBA world title. Now, if Heather Hardy wins this WBO title, I think we should set up that Jelena Mrjenovic and Heather Hardy fight to unify the belt, and we have an undisputed champion.
We can make that happen, brother. We can make that happen. I'd be down. And here's the beauty part, right? Both girls would be down as well.
They're both down to fight.
So I mean, fuck, it'd be great to see Heather Hardy fight on this side of the border, man.
Ooh,
You
I'd
know what I
love to
mean?
see that fight. I realistically think Jelena knocks her clean out, but
Listen, I don't. They're not in the same weight category right now, are they?
featherweight.
Are they both in the same?
Jelena is the WBC and WBA World Featherweight Champion.
Oh, I don't know why I thought Hardy was heavier than her.
Heather Hardy used to fight a weight class up.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but I like Heather Hardy. She's very nice.
I met her once. Very nice lady. Uh, Listen, man, I like her story too. If you know it,
Yeah, she's got a real good story actually.
real good story, and she's done nothing but good for boxing and women's boxing. So I mean, this would in women's boxing, in my mind, this would be the closest thing to the best versus the best. We never got Ann Wolfe versus Layla Ali,
Yeah.
and that would have been the best female versus the best female. Uh, you know, a lot of talk of Clarissa Shields having that fight, but now it's put off and whatnot. And I like Clarissa and everything, but I feel like if these two women would get down, it would definitely go down in boxing history.
I think Jelena is probably the greatest female boxer of all time.
Most underrated.
Guaranteed. That's a true statement.
That has to do with the fact she's Canadian.
Yeah, I think she's the go to female boxing. But Heather Hardy versus Jelena Marjanovic is a fantastic matchup, and I'd pay money to go see it.
That's a main event.
Oh yeah, on a big time show.
That's a main event, TV, everything. That's a main event, hands down. Here's hoping that Hardy gets an offer from DAZN as well.
Yes.
Okay. Now I know that the ESPN has made some offers, and her previous deals with Showtime and Al Haym and whatnot are done with. So
yeah,
I mean, she just basically wants to be able to put money on her table. And if the Zone were to make her an offer, I feel like they would be able to offer her enough money for her to exclusively box.
Yeah.
I don't mind her doing the Bellator thing. I get it. You're hungry. You want to fight. You don't give a fuck. It's great. But, the truth is, if she was making more money boxing, she wouldn't be fucking doing it.
It's very true.
So, here's hoping she gets this fight, wins this fight in beautiful fashion, gets a contract from either ESPN or DAZN, and then, she'll have the backing to get a fight with Jelena or whoever.
Yeah.
Because without that, say nobody signs her, right? And after this fight, she's just champ and waiting for her next fight. They're going to find her a girl who's ranked. She's going to defend the title. It's going to be on an undercard somewhere. And, so we kind of need some things to work out for us for that fight to happen.
Now, you're the guy I go to for rumors usually because, but with HBO getting rid of boxing, now I've heard a rumor that Netflix is going to pick some of the slack up.
Well, okay. So first, I want to point out that although it is not airing live boxing anymore,
yeah,
they still plan on doing documentaries, and in-depth pieces and so on and so forth. But they're not going to be doing live fights anymore or any, like Showtime will show you the press conferences and stuff. You never even got that on HBO.
Yeah.
So, that being said, Netflix, okay, so the reason this was a possibility, it's less of a possibility right now, actually, but it was a bigger possibility 2 weeks ago. The reason why is because at the time, Golden Boy had made a deal with Facebook Watch in order to put on their LA Fight Night shows. Okay? So it's a show they were putting on Facebook before. It's just Facebook Watch is this new platform that they're trying to push, where it's basically Facebook TV, right?
Yeah.
And So they signed a deal to put these smaller cards on Facebook Watch, and it's great. I think it's a really great way to get fighters who have less than 7 fights and whatnot seen. And there I've gotten to follow a few stars that are now stars because I was watching these fights like a couple of years ago. So it's a really good place to churn out future stars and whatnot. The main guy that handles the Facebook Watch deal was is also one of the major shareholders of Netflix.
Oh.
Correct. So at the time when Golden Boy made that deal with Facebook Watch for its smaller shows, they were shopping for Canelo and the remainder of their pay-per-views that they could put together, right?
Yeah.
Seeing as how HBO wasn't going into it anymore. Showtime had not made them an offer. ESPN was making them an offer, and it was a good offer too, because you got to realize ESPN still has a lot of Mexican boxing with Top Rank and shows going on in Texas and Arizona and Houston and all these, Mexican border states, right? So there was a good reason for them to want Canelo.
Yeah.
But the Zone ultimately won that deal, right? So now, if Netflix were to go into the boxing business, they would more than likely be picking up somebody like a Kathy Duva or a Lou DiBella, or like the bigger promoters are out now. You know what I'm saying? There's Golden Boy, there's Bob Arum, and there's Al Heyman.
Yeah.
And then there's the Sutherlands. The Sutherlands are the ones that are doing the World Boxing Super Series, right?
Yeah.
And the Super Series is already locked up for the next, I believe, two years of worth of tournaments.
Fuck, I
So
really
they're not
like
gonna.
that.
Hey man, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Here's a weird thing, right? They also have a connection to Golden Boy.
Oh.
Richard Schaefer. Okay, so they World Boxing Super Series has a connection to Al Heyman, PBC, and Golden Boy. Richard Schaefer was the guy that was controlling Golden Boy while Oscar De La Hoya was in rehab. Oscar De La Hoya came back from rehab. Schaefer took his number 2 spot back and then left the company because they had a disagreement. At that time, 300 fighters followed Richard Schaefer from Golden Boy over to this new company that was starting called PBC.
Yep.
So there was obviously some lawsuits and some stuff, but everything was done legally because Richard Schaefer was in charge while Oscar De La Hoya was in rehab.
Yeah.
So there was nothing illegal about the transactions. As much as it sucked for Oscar, he lost quite a bit of money.
Shit.
Yeah, so that's what started PBC. So Richard Schaefer was the guy that Al Heyman went to, in order to because sure, Al Heyman found the money, got the funding and whatnot, right? But he needed to produce fighters,
Yeah.
right? And nobody could have foreseen somebody showing up with a roster of 300 fighters to start a promotion, right? No one could have predicted this move. No one thought it was plausible because at the time, Golden Boy and Al Heyman were a big no-no, right? Showtime, HBO. So that Richard Schaefer move was pivotal in the history of boxing, so to speak. Richard Schaefer was originally the money man for the Swiss bank in North America.
Yeah.
So he was the manager. So the same Swiss bank is also the lenders to Richard Sutherland, which is the guys, the promotion group that's doing the World Boxing Super Series. Richard Schaefer is the overseer of that account from the Swiss bank that's lending the World Boxing Super Series the money in order to make this happen.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so when Sutherland says, listen, we're going to need this and that for next year's promotion, whatever, when they need a check from their bank, Richard Schaefer is essentially the guy that makes sure they get it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, man. They don't, they don't do the homework, so to speak.
Yeah, I got another question for you.
Yeah.
Shelley Vincent threw me off with the goddamn beard.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so she a couple years ago had a little peach fuzz stash.
Little mustache, yeah, that's fine.
She's not transgender. She's a lesbian
Yeah.
who happens to be more butch, I guess.
That's
I'm
cool.
sure it's not the proper term, but I mean, fuck you.
Yeah.
And whatever, so she likes guy clothing. She dresses like you do, bud. The hat backwards, the whole thing. She
I'm
likes
down
it.
with it. That's cool.
Yeah, be you, man. Life's too short. So, obviously she gets a lot of flack over it. And she's a short, strong Mexican boxer who trains like a freaking animal. So, and she's got a pretty successful record. So obviously the rumors of steroids will come into play. And then when it comes to female boxers, unless they're a 7 or above, everyone makes the man claims. Even Clarissa Shields deals with people calling her a transgender. Yeah,
What?
believe it or not. Yeah, people are fucking mean online. They basically try and say she's a man and that she just had
Wow.
her bits cut off, and that's why she's so good in beating other girls.
I believe that I have her on on Instagram.
Yeah, you'll see it every now and then on Twitter. She'll blast some people that are like just mean to her. She gets upset at it, man. She's cried on Instagram over this shit, man. People are fucking stupid. But the point is, she's a big, strong girl. And yes, genetics play a fucking role, right?
Yeah.
But she ain't no man.
Listen, guys, this is Clarissa Shields.
Pretty girl, in
She's
my
pretty.
opinion.
Stop it.
Well, anyway, point is, Shelly Vincent gets it a little bit more, and I mean, she decided to wear a fucking mustache, so it's kind of understandable that she'll get it more.
Yeah.
So, a combination of excessive shaving and a lot of eyeliner allowed her to produce her dream beard
Fuck, I love it.
for the weigh-in. Because, A, you gotta remember, there's a couple factors people are forgetting here. A, she is being ironic. B, she does legitimately like it. C, Halloween's around, so who gives a fuck? And D, who cares? You get what I'm saying? Like, who really cares? If she was a dude, we would know.
Yeah.
You understand? So, like, there's no point in doing this shit. And the only reason she did that was to egg those people on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I liked it. I thought it was funny, but it caught me off guard. I was like, oh, shit.
People talked about it. We're talking about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was flying under the radar, so she was like, fuck this. We're going to make people fucking talk.
Yeah.
Rainbow hair, mohawk, lesbian isn't enough for people today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But, hey, tune in, man. That's going to be a fucking solid fight.
The photo was funny to me because you got Heather Hardy, who's fairly easy on the eyes, and then she's face to face with a significantly shorter young Mexican fella.
Yeah, John Leguizamo looking.
Yeah.
Straight up looks like John Leguizamo. Look, I even cleaned up my beard because of her, because she made me felt self-conscious about it. I was like, I can't have this girl rocking on a better beard than me.
Yeah. You look like fucking D'Artagnan from the Three Musketeers.
Point being, these girls have it tough enough as it is, and I'm happy they did something to try and get a little attention. Hardy's wore a one piece bathing suit.
Yeah.
I think 2 fights ago, to her weigh-ins, and that is still her most downloaded picture.
She's hot.
She's a pretty girl. I'll tell you what does it for me with her. Has nothing to do with her looks. You got to hear her talk.
Okay.
She's got there's a Irish New York girl. There's something about it. I can't explain it. It's like borderline Boston.
Yeah.
But New York. Like full on New York. I don't know how to explain it. It's the way she talks, dude. Curls my toes.
Well, I shared a video a little while ago of her doing what might be the nicest call out of all time to Jelena. And I watched it. I was like, oh, you're cute.
Yeah. Listen, man. She's a mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like her. I hope she wins. I really do. Now, the Shelly Vincent, I'm not going to get mad if she wins either.
No. But between you and me, I think publicity-wise, it'd be a better fight for her and Helena than Vincent.
Yeah. It would be. Jelena, she's terrifying.
Look, and personally, I'm not sure if Shelly Vincent would take that fight. I don't know if we would be able to find the funding to make that fight happen.
I don't think so.
You get what I'm saying? Whereas
Yeah.
in Heather Hardy, you'll be able to find the funding.
Well, I think those two could sell the fight too, right? Like,
Well, that's what it boils down to. It boils down to that. It boils down to whether or not people will like the picture of the Instagram.
I hate to say it, but they're both easy on the eyes. You can sell it. They don't even have to say anything.
Hold on, I want to point this out though. They could be Pamela Anderson, right?
Yeah.
If you put a mic on them, right?
Yep.
And they say stupid stuff, it's not going to work.
No.
So the truth is, yes, they are easy on the eyes, and yes, they are quite possibly the two best boxers in their weight category alive today. But if you put that all aside, both girls could tomorrow quit boxing and work for the news
100%.
and commentate on sports.
Well,
You get what I'm saying?
Here's what
So
I
they're
like.
both well spoken. They're both polite. They both understand the game. You get what I'm saying? So
That's what I was gonna say. They're well spoken. They're educated. They're polite. You're not gonna get the shit talk. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and it's not gonna happen. They're gonna get in the ring, and it might be the dirtiest fucking thing you watch.
yeah, it'll be a tough fight.
Right?
It'll be a rough one.
Here's what I will say about anything female combat sports. There's some of my favorite fights of all time. There's a different level of the shit when the women get in there, because they're angry at each other.
When they go, they go.
Yeah.
When they go, they go. If you can tell when a girl's had enough. And
Yeah.
she's like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna knock this bitch out.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, you can almost
great.
feel it when a girl does it.
Yeah. All right, so we've got coming up, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya has jumped into the MMA scene. He's going to do Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz 3. Manny's silent.
I just want both guys to walk away healthy from that fight. I don't want anything bad to happen. I'm kind of worried for both guys. I think De La Hoya's got to stop doing shit for spite. I get it. Dana White's a piece of shit. I don't like him either. That's okay, right? You're allowed to have those thoughts, but you're investing millions of dollars just to fuck with them. You know, it doesn't make me believe that you're big on this MMA promotion stuff and that this is going to be the new wave and what you're going to push $100 million into. You know what I mean? It sounds more to me like you're trying to fuck with Dana White's money for a weekend just to show him you can.
How does this fuck with him, though? You just opened up the doors to the retirement home.
Okay, so Tito and Dana have had a weird relationship from day one. So they've had moments where they've literally been buddies and then hated each other.
Well, they were going to fight.
Yeah, well, okay, I mean, come on.
They were going to box. Whatever that means.
Dana was never going to fight him.
No.
I don't care. I don't care. He can pretend, whatnot. When the lights are off and he's in the washroom alone looking at himself in the mirror, he knows. He was never going to fight Tito Ortiz. Okay? Anyway, so here's the thing. It fucks with him because Chuck had a really sweet job, office job.
Yeah.
He was Dana's boy. For all intents and purposes, he was, the Undertaker to Vince McMahon, right?
Yep.
So the entire company was on Chuck's shoulders at one time, and Chuck ran with the ball and did well by the company and was a great representative. And giving him an office job in retirement was like, man, I really like that move. These are the days I used to like Dana.
Yeah, it was a good move.
Yeah, man, he kept everybody around, man. It didn't matter,
They did it. They did it right though. They gave Chuck Liddell a job, Matt Hughes, Forrest Griffin. All these guys got. These are the guys that made the UFC what it is. I'm gonna say
What's the name
5
of the dude
years
that fought
ago.
Forrest Griffin?
Stephen Bonner.
Stephen Bonner was another dude who who was treated good initially, right? But now today they're all gone. No one's involved in the company.
Nope.
You get what I'm saying? So they're not behind him or anything. And there is a little bitterness between Chuck and Dana
Yeah.
because, I don't know what promises and deals were made, right? But there is a distinct feeling that Chuck was let down by the UFC and Dana.
Well, he
And
was
Dana
fired.
is acting like he was promised. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Dana was acting like he was promised that Chuck would never fight again, and for no other company.
Yeah, but Dana probably told Chuck, you got a job with the UFC until the day you die. But then you
Yeah.
sold to another company, and as soon as it sold, you got fired.
Yeah, except you kept your job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's... I'm not mad at the fight. I just hope none of them get hurt. I realistically think Chuck knocks him dead again, but...
I'd prefer Chuck over Tito.
Yes. He's my guy.
Chuck was my original dude. Like, I've never painted my nails, but if I ever did, I'd be okay with it because Chuck Liddell painted his nails. Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. You get what I'm saying? So he was like the first dude where I was like, fuck, you don't give no fucks. You know what I mean? He was content in being himself type thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like without Chuck, there's a bunch of fighters we wouldn't have got. Like people, he was the perfect example of what American martial arts could produce.
Yes.
Right? Because before that, there was a lot of bozo American martial artists.
Yeah. Steven Seagal.
Excluding the guys that actually went and fought in Japan, like the Shamrocks and the Gracies and whatnot, right? I'm talking guys that, the Keith Hackneys of the world, the first couple years of American martial artists. Because if you notice, go watch the first 4 UFCs where it was like no holds bar and all that. All the American dudes got trampled.
Yeah.
Right? I think the first dude that was successful that was an American was Dan Severn.
Yep.
And Dan Severn showed up with the craziest pedigree in wrestling there was at the time. And he was like the forefront of oh shit, okay, you're going to have to show up with some skills here. It can't just be you own a dojo and you claim that you're a black belt in this whatever martial art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was the change of things. And Chuck was the first legit black belt karate guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everyone else that claimed karate before Chuck Liddell in the UFC, bullshit.
Real karate, though.
Yeah, old school fucking karate.
Yeah.
None of this weird hybrid fucking bullshit that came out afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kyokushin
karate, we're punching trees and shit.
Yeah, old school, Daniel-san, fucking Karate Kid karate. Yeah. And, he made it cool again in my eyes.
I thought so.
Even his trainer at the time, I'm trying to remember his name, at the pit.
Oh, fucking Hackelman.
Yeah, Hackelman's a real deal, man. Those guys, that's what led to Alpha Male and the Black Zillions and all these others, because everyone realized, oh shit, you're going to have to show up with some real pedigree.
Yeah. You can't just fucking lay on dudes anymore. Somebody's gonna hit you now.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not a game of that's exactly it. Chuck made the UFC. At the time, the UFC was putting in all these rules and stuff, and they were coming off of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just swallows everything because of Royce Gracie, and it doesn't matter because he's tiny, but he's gonna wrap you up and you're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell was the Mike Tyson of the UFC. He showed up and they started doing highlight reels and someone's going to sleep, and people were anticipating the Iceman. There was something good about it. You know what I mean?
If they do the Mount Rushmore of combat sports of the baddest men on the planet, Chuck Liddell's on it.
Absolutely. And he came along at such the perfect time. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin and Chuck Liddell were it was there was something about manly men at the time that was good. You know what I mean? He wasn't too PC. I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's not like Chuck was gonna be selling you Burger King or anything. But
He wasn't disrespectful ever, but he had the look. Like he could look at a guy and make him shit his pants.
yeah, yeah, that's what it is. The aggression about it.
Yeah. You knew when his eyes looked at you, oh shit, this guy's gonna try to fucking kill me.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what movie he's in where like they pick a fight with him and they fucking realize afterwards it's Chuck Liddell.
Entourage, he did that in.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's fucking funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's super. Chuck Liddell is one of the all-time baddest men ever.
Yeah.
Him and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, well, Mike's on a different level for me.
Mike's on a, I don't know. He's normal now, where he's got like a weed ranch and shit.
Yeah, listen, man. He's admitted it. He's bipolar. He's got issues. You know what I mean? He's on his meds now. That's straight up. He said it in a radio interview recently. They were asking him about Kanye, and note the way I say it. I try and so. Anyway, they were asking him about him, and he was like, he needs to get on his meds. I can tell what that is. He goes, that's how I was acting. He goes, he needs to get on his meds. He goes, oh, so you're on your meds now? He goes, yeah, absolutely, man. He goes, I wouldn't be able to do this show. But you'd be shitting your pants.
Yeah.
Straight goods, you know what I mean? So
it's true. All right, man, let's wrap this fucking thing up. We could sit here and talk shit for hours.
Yeah.
So let's save some for another one. We'll do it again in another couple of weeks. But
all good, man. All good. I'm down for whatever, whenever.
Yeah, the podcast, guys, brought to you by Smile Canada, Smile V Liquid. Go check them out on the Instagrams. Go check out their website. We're also brought to you by the Tough Canuck Beard Company. Manny's growing his beard back, so I'm going to send him some when it gets big enough that he can start putting the stuff in there. Tough Canuck Beard Company. They're the best beard oil on the planet. It's the only stuff I put in my beard. And last but not least, Buds and Leaves. They're going to be back up and running soon with the legalization of marijuana. They had to shut down for a couple weeks to get their ducks in a row, but when they open back up, go check out Buds and Leaves. They're a full-service licensed dispensary in Vic West. You can get anything you want there when it comes to medical marijuana, CBD. You can get the dry shit. You can get fucking whatever you want to put in your pipe and smoke it. That's legal. Man, you got anything else to say?
Nothing much, man. Keep your ears peeled. Hopefully, I will be doing something new and interesting in 2019. If there's any other fight fiends out there, do not be shy. Claim your territory now. Let's see what kind of work we could do together and really fuck shit up. And last but not least, guys, go check out punchandgrace.com.
All right, guys. Final Shot Podcast. We're fucking out today. Oh, December 14th. KO Boxing Edmonton. We're back. I'll be there. Never know. You might see the boogeyman.